Welcome back. This is TV47 Sports Extravaganza. My name is Duncan Tua. Continue keeping the conversation going at TV47 Sports Extravaganza. Tumetoka Rabat, where Tony Kwalanda has taken us through the preparation of the Wanda Diamond League that is set to take place tomorrow. That is on Sunday in Morocco. We have talked about matters swimming and preparation toward the East Africa Games. Na saizi we are going to cross tutasonga pia tuangalie what is happening, because on 31st this month, the end of this month, the last day of this month, the Horolds will be heading to Baringo County, where the 2025 Rhino Charge event will be taking place. And for that matter, in the studio, sipo peke yangu, we have the Bush Babes, babes, chicks in charge. I'll let you guys, everyone, to introduce. I love letting the guest, or rather, anyone to introduce themselves.
Sure.
For me, I can say,
sure.
This and this. Okay, let me start with you.
Yeah, my name is Sabina. I'm the driver of the Bush Babes team, an all-ladies team, and we look forward to interacting and telling you more about us, but I let my other teammates here introduce themselves first.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
My name's Emma, and I'm the navigator on the team. And I've been a member of the team. This is our 15th year now of taking part in the Rhino Charge.
Hi, I'm Eleanor. I'm one of the runners in the team. I'm actually Sabina's daughter. So it's actually really nice to get to do this with my mum as well.
It's mother-daughter affair.
Yeah.
Anyway, you've talked about being in this industry for more than 15 years. What has motivated you to be part of this Rhino Charge events?
So we've been part of the Rhino Charge now for 15 years. And we are the Car 19, and we are raising money for Rhino Arc. So it's a big charity, a Kenyan charity, that's looking after the water towers of Kenya. So it's preserving the ecosystems of the Aberdare Satima Range and Mount Kenya, also Eburu Forest, the Mau Escarpment. So we're passionate about conservation. And we were first introduced to the event through our husbands, who have also got a team in the event. So we've been part of this now, and our motivation is conservation in Kenya.
The motivation is about conversation in Kenya. I can see already some of the viewers are asking what inspired you guys to come up with the name Bush Babes, to come up with the name Chicks in Charge?
Well, I think when we started, this is now the 15th year, so we've done 14 charges. So we're about to do the 15th now in a week's time. Bush Babes, well, they're alert little creatures, and we are alert female creatures. So we are trying to really enjoy being in the environment that is given, and it always changes. I don't know for the viewers if they know about the Rhino Charge, but it's always a different venue. It's never the same place, and the challenge is to be embracing the challenges that you are given the day before the charge, and make the best. And I think, being a Bush Babe, you're alert, you're wide-eyed, and you're ready to take on a challenge.
Ready to take on the challenge. Elena, it's just in the same circle.
Yeah.
Competition with your mother, being there. Talk about it.
Yeah, so I grew up with the charge. I grew up watching my dad do it first, and then my mum started doing it when I was 6. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Being a young girl at the time, I was so proud to see my mother and my aunties and everyone taking part in all of this. And I was like, oh, I want to be part of this. I want to prove that I can also do this kind of stuff, because it is grueling, it is intense. And I've always loved the bush. I've always been very at peace in the bush, and we communicate very well. We're very solution orientated. We like to think on our feet. This is my second charge now. I did it in 2022. And honestly, the memories, I would say, are the most amazing things. The things I've learnt, incredible, and yeah, it goes down to being with my mum and my aunties.
Emma, will this be your first time in Baringo, or have you been in Baringo?
I have been in Baringo. I've been several times in Baringo. And even just after COVID in 2021, I think it was, we had a rhino charge that took place in a conservancy, a community conservancy in Baringo. But we're really looking forward to going back to Baringo. It's a beautiful part of the country.
What impact do you think, the kind of impact that this event has brought to the environment, also in the country?
So yeah, it's always, people always think cars charging through the bush is not very good for the environment. We of course are very mindful of that. We try to preserve the environment, but I think it's, the charge always takes place in communities where the community welcomes the charge, and we try to give back as much as possible, and I think it's a great partnership between the communities who are hosting us and we having the privilege of being in those communities, because honestly it is so different from life in Nairobi.
Okay. It's now going to Baringo. What does it mean to you guys being there as a team? Last time you were in Kajiado?
Yes.
Yeah, last time you guys were in Kajiado. This time is in Baringo. Maybe what are some of the expectations that you guys are expecting? Should I start? What are you expecting? This is your second Rhino.
Oh wow! I would like to see us at least get first place in the unmodified class. So Rhino Charge has, I think, 3 different categories. Yeah. So you've got unmodified, which is us, modified, and then super modified. So it'd be really lovely to podium on that. Obviously, if we can win the Coupe de Dame, which is the ladies' trophy, that would be brilliant as well. But honestly, for me, it's just about the experience and being in the bush and, you know, being able to give back to the environment that we live in.
It's about the experience being in the bush. Maybe you as a navigator, some of your expectation.
So we will arrive there on Thursday, and on Friday we have the day which is called scrutineering. So we have to present our car to the scrutineering committee, and they do all the checks that we are ready to take part in the competition. And that evening, for me in particular as the navigator, I will receive the map of the terrain, and I'll also receive where all the checkpoints are going to be. And then I have to work out how we are going to move around the course, because the aim of the game of this motorsport is to visit all the checkpoints in 10 hours in the shortest distance possible. So my job is to make sure that our race is as short as possible.
Sabina, are you expecting something different from them?
It's always different.
Okay.
It's always, yeah. I mean, we always have challenges that are unforeseen. Emma is a great navigator, has now a lot of experience in reading the map, which we only get given for where the actual charge will happen. We only get given it the night before the charge, with the coordinates for where those checkpoints are, which are sponsored checkpoints. And our aim is to now complete, as Emma said, in the shortest distance. So it's not a rally, it's not a speed thing. And of course that means when you're going straight, you're going through luggers, through rivers, through
up cliffs.
And sometimes, as well as we try to read the map, until you're actually seeing the visual part of the terrain, you don't know what is going to come up against you. It can be a very thick bush. It can be bees is another issue. In Baringo, we've been already told there are a lot of beehives, which we have personally also had experience in the past with. I had a bad experience with. So there are lots of unknowns that even if you try to be as prepared as possible, every meter is different.
Everything is. How different is this compared to the last one to you?
I'll tell you after the. No, it's just that, okay, we've been to Baringo, so yeah, we also look at weather. I mean, is it wet? It's going to change the whole strategy. If it's going to be very wet, we have to maybe change strategy. And as Elena said, we're in an unmodified vehicle, so we have limitations versus a super modified car. We have smaller tires. We have not such a big winch, maybe also. So we have to live within our means of what our car can do, and what we can, of course, do everything. So we have to just look after the car.
And I want us to talk about this. It's a fully female team.
Yes.
Why, you guys decided we are going just to focus on.
Yeah. So. I mean, just a background, I have done the charge quite a few times. Also, when I was Elena's age, I've done it when I'm a bit older now, but when I was 18, 19, 20, now you're 22 almost, you know, I did the charge, and I always was addicted, but I was in a mixed team. And then I did a few ladies' teams. And so when the husbands decided they were going to try it out, I said we should, with my sister, who's, by the way, we didn't even introduce the rest of the Bush babes. We have my sister, who's actually the captain, Petra. She's unfortunately out of the country right now. And then we have Catherine Coulson, who's the mechanic. And then Talia, who is Petra's daughter, joining us. So we have the next generation coming in. And why not women? You know, we enjoy doing these challenges, and it doesn't matter if it's men who enjoy it predominantly. Why not women?
All right. Helena, your first edition of the, you took part in the last year's edition. Maybe do you have some of the standout moments?
I mean,
from your first.
Yeah. So the first charge I did was in 2022, actually. And I would say my most standout moment was we were 500 meters from the finish, and unfortunately we hit a rock, and then we didn't finish. And in that moment, it was one of the most exhilarating moments of my life, because I think we all came together. We were sorting things out. We were pushing rocks everywhere, trying to clear a path. Eventually, we got the car free, but we didn't finish on time. But you know, that teamwork, the communication, the being solution-orientated, and being able to think on our feet was really nice, and being really calm about it. I think that was a really nice moment. No one was shouting, no one was blaming anyone.
At the end of a long day.
And at the end of a long day, and we got to the checkpoint, and you know, it was such a beautiful moment. I think I almost started crying in that moment because I was so tired, but it was an amazing experience. And
in your 15 years, more than 15 years in this stage, some of the outstanding moments that...
So outstanding moments have been when we have finished in the top 10, when we have won the unmodified group, when we out in the bush. Last year we had a moment when we were driving along a very, very narrow pathway, and the side wheels fell off, and so we ended up on a great big tilt like this, and we had to get the winch out and position ourselves and hold on with a winch, and then winch ourselves out of that. That was a pretty interesting moment for us. Yes, we have a lot of excitement, a lot of adrenaline.
We'll take you with us next time.
I'll try. I'll try come. Anyway, speaking of this year's edition, are you guys having the same car that you had last year?
Yes.
Any adjustments? The type of car, the type of engine, maybe to the viewer?
Yeah, so it's a Range Rover Classic, 1988 model. It's a 3.5 liter engine, V8. It's all original in the sense of the engine. Everything is as a 1988 Range Rover.
We drove it here.
It's here. It's actually here. Outside. So it's standing in your car park right now. It is a fantastic car, and it has. We haven't done any change because we like to stay in the unmodified class. We think that's challenging, and we enjoy being still in the original format of the car. There are some changes always to the car, but we're not stepping out of the unmodified category at this stage, which you could. I mean, you could change it up, but then you automatically go to the next higher level category. And we are quite happy where we are right now.
And maybe to someone who was in the, maybe is not familiar with the type of cars that you guys drive, type of training that you guys go through. What time do you practice? Is there like specific time, specific days? You decide, let me just go have fun, let me just go and drive and practice.
The practice was from my house to here. So we used to do a lot of practice. We used to also do in Lucania. We used to do some these small events, and just to get a bit of a feel, or even take the car ourselves into an area where we know that there were some uneven ground, and do some of our skill improvement. I must admit, the last few years, our lives are very, very busy, like everybody else, and yeah, that has happened less. But nevertheless, I always feel when I step into that car, it comes back like immediately.
It's about the experience.
It's like riding a bicycle. You kind of very quickly remember what the car can do, and you just, the sound of the engine, when you hear it, it's just amazing. So yeah, we get into it very, very quickly.
And Gemma decided to just be, you are the navigator?
I am, yeah.
So you decided to be the navigator, or?
Well, I was invited to join the team by Petra, Sabina's sister, and to be the navigator. I've had to learn a lot. So we have a Garmin and a GPS system, as well as the paper map, and we have to plot the route, and we feed it into our GPS system. So in terms of preparation, I do quite a lot of refreshing, reminding myself how all the tech works, and on the day it's much more difficult because we're often in areas where there's no 4G, there's no network, so we really are relying on our eyes and what the GPS can tell us. So it's quite tricky on the day, but beforehand we do a bit of preparation.
Looking up to someday becoming a navigator?
Maybe, or even a driver. I would love to do both. But yeah, I mean, being a runner, I think generally you have to be kind of fit. I've been going to the gym a lot recently. Just, I got into this thing called High Rocks, so it's a lot of, weights and running and cardio and all of that. So I'm feeling very fit and ready, but you also have to know what the car is capable of, like the driver. You need to know if they can go up this hill, that hill, if it can go through this bush. So you do have to think ahead a lot and communicate back with, the driver and the navigator. So it's just having that.
When you talk about motorsport and other events that involve vehicles, racing, the wheels, someone would say, it's more expensive, or rather it's a very expensive sport. How expensive is maintaining a Rhino Charge car, or rather a car that will be used during the Rhino Charge event? Well,
I can tell you, I'm a woman driver. Ask any insurance company about women driver, they're normally the better ones. So no, our car is actually we maintain it well. So and because we are staying in the unmodified, yes, it is expensive when we have to buy tires, but we don't buy tires every year or so. The rest of the car, the engine, everything is getting a standard service. The winch gets pulled out, gets the service. So it's not crazy, but I think the sky is the limit for some participants who have very high-tech cars, and it's their passion. I mean, it's my passion as well, but I know that, I'm not taking part in any other events during the year, so once a year, it's just going to stay a normal car as much as possible, and we're going to enjoy this car as much as possible in its normal limits.
From the viewer, this one is from the viewer. Someone is saying, how can I join the team? Are they welcoming to she's a lady, she's asking, are they welcoming any new members
she run?
of the team? That's the question though. Can she?
Yeah, no, I mean, we always, because we are unfortunately not many women teams. I think last year we were three ladies teams. So we wish there were more women who would come. I think the fear is always that it is such a high cost. Yes, you need an old car, a 4x4. You need a 4x4, but how much money you want to put into it is up to you. It's about taking part and collecting for us money towards the Rhino Arc or Rhino Charge. So that is where our passion is, that we're doing this event because we have a lot of fun, but at the same time, we focus on the money going towards the Rhino Arc for all it's doing in sustainability and community projects.
You love wildlife, right?
I love wildlife, I do, yeah, I do.
Because I understand everyone that is, anyone who's taking part in this event loves to be part of the wildlife, loves to be part of that ecosystem. Do you have some Rhino Charge outside the country?
Yes, I think there are a few UK entries.
Yeah,
Emma?
but there are
Entries
apart from here in
as
Kenya?
the same kind of event that takes place in other countries.
Outside the country, or maybe close to the same event?
Do you know, I don't know the answer to that.
I think there's actually one in South Africa that I read up on. I don't know if it's exactly the same, but I know they use the same kind of cars, but I don't think it's the actual same concept. I think the Rhino Charge in itself is very unique in the way it's run, but you know, there are other car events that use the kind of same.
But there is an event in the UK, because the winner of that event takes part then in the Kenyan Rhino. That is the dream.
That's the dream.
Come to the original.
And speaking of the original, I know you guys one day or other right now, you are some of the stakeholders. There are some of the organizers back at home who are there, who are watching the show. If you're given a chance to make adjustment in the Rhino Charge, to make maybe improvement on the event itself, any suggestions?
Well, the suggestions that I would have made last year, I'm starting to see happen, which is amazing. So it's a big event to organise, and there's a huge amount that goes into making it happen. And this year, for the first year, I think that the HQ and all the organisation behind the scenes is actually going to be run off solar, which is a really great advance. So we're no longer going to have lots of generators there. And I think that's anything that we can do to reduce our footprint after the event is a really great thing. The running of the event is amazing, it's brilliant, it's always done extremely well, and the committee and everyone who runs the Rhino Charge just do such an amazing job, and they're all setting out, I think, tomorrow to set it all up for the event to take place.
And they're all running it on a voluntary basis, so they're just doing it for the passion of being able to enjoy this beautiful country. So it's just unbelievable how much work they put in with the community first, because it all starts literally after one charge finishes. They go into already planning for the next year, which means they have to scout for venues, they have to talk to the communities. It's a massive commitment, and without these volunteers, I mean, we wouldn't be doing this.
Elena is the Gen Z in the
Yes.
the Gen Z in the studio.
I am the Gen Z.
Seems to have that opinion, seems to have a different opinion, different ideas of how things should be executed. I don't know, maybe...
Yeah,
someday.
I mean, there's a lot of things. I think for me, the environment has always been a big part of everything. You know, watching young people as well join in on these kind of stuff is really, really nice. And obviously seeing like spectators coming to these events, it obviously creates a lot more, you know, knowledge about the event and what goes behind it. And I think, you know, it's really important just to reconnect and see what we actually have in this beautiful country. I think a lot of us are in a bubble and we don't see what this beautiful country has to offer us. And, you know, just being out in nature is beautiful, and being able to be part of major conservation efforts and actually seeing where the money is going to is a beautiful thing.
Speaking of money, do you guys have like a target in terms of contribution, in terms of fundraising, the target?
We are very, very, very fortunate. We have a great sponsor in Whitecup at the moment for the last 3 years, I think. They've been really great supporting us, and they believe in giving back. I believe there are another 2 teams that are being also sponsored by them, and they generally see the Rhino charge as a way of giving back themselves, because the water catchment areas, because if you think of beer brewing, I mean, I'm German, so I know a little bit.
Sure.
So, you know, you need the water to make good beer, and you need the barley, and so if you protect all of that, I think Whitecup has that in mind, and they're also thinking of, you know, the women in this country, and whether it's doing a Rhino charge or doing anything, that women should feel that they can do a lot and they shouldn't be afraid to try.
So the event is all about fundraising. It's all about the passion that you have to the maybe to the wildlife. The part of, I want someone. let me now focus let me focus to Elena. The entertainment part. I'm coming there just to have fun. I'm coming there to get that entertainment, and then also be part of the fundraising team.
Yeah.
Talk about the entertainment part.
Oh, I mean, the entertainment part. I mean, okay, being in the team, let me talk about that, for example. Oh, it is so different than being a spectator. Like, you know, as a spectator, it's already exhilarating as a kid, you know, watching my mum or my dad, you know, going over these boulders. I got so excited, and, you know, as a spectator, it was so nice to see that, and people cheering for you. And within the team, though, you see things that spectators don't see. I mean, you see the effort that we have to put through to get the car up a cliff, for example, the winch that we had to get out. The first time I did it, that was really exhilarating. You know, it's having that constant adrenaline rush, but also, you know, being in a supportive team is very important to me, and that's also part of the entertainment. The banter we have as a team is incredible, and, you know, we're always laughing, which is lovely. So, yeah.
Some of the teams that you're looking up to face in the competition, and how good are they?
Well, we compete against some amazing teams. There are a few teams that we look up to because they get their winch out very quickly, and they go straight up these escarpments and straight down the escarpments. They have the advantage of male strength, which we don't have quite the same of, but we have good tactics and good brains, so we manage to work our way through the terrain. One of our main competitors is Car 21. They're our husbands, so we always like to beat them, which we have done on several occasions. This year there's a really interesting team as well. There's a first electric car for the Rhino Charge, so we're all going to watch the electric car with great interest to see how they do. So yeah, I mean, we usually finish in the top 20, and we have finished in the top 10, so we are serious competitors against all the other teams. So it doesn't matter that we're women, we beat a lot of people.
Speaking of top 10, top 20, top 10,
Yeah.
this year, top 5 maybe? Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
Why not, eh?
What will you guys do differently?
And we were podium, we've been podium finishers for our unmodified class for several years now.
Yeah.
How differently are you approaching this event?
Oh no, we take it, like Emma said, we take it very serious. There's a lot of banter, a lot of fun, but oh no, we're serious competitors, and you know, sometimes the terrain suits a smaller car like ours, and you just sometimes have to be lucky as well. And sometimes if you have huge boulders, like when Elena was mentioning that event, yeah, a bigger car with a bigger sort of space underneath would be doing better. So it's luck a little bit, what the terrain brings, and how you chose to navigate that terrain is always a bit of luck. No, I think, you know, even an unmodified car, and I know it will rarely happen, could technically win the overall prize. But I think that we're realistic. We're just going for the unmodified win for now.
Elena, is this first time in Baringo?
No, I've been to Baringo before when I was a child, and
Now you're going there as a
now I'm going as a 22-year-old. I'm going to actually see it properly. I remember going on a school trip once, and then also with Rhino Charge. And I've always loved Baringo. I've always found it a really beautiful part of the country. I think it's very underrated.
The exact venue, we don't know the exact venue yet. That will only be released on Monday. So for the moment, we know that we start from Mogotio at the equator, and we drive, we don't know how far, and we will be given route notes, but we only find out on Monday where the venue is. And for the moment, nobody knows, even now.
Is it the culture of the event? 1 week to the event or a few days to the event is when they reveal the venue?
Yeah.
That's the culture.
I think when are they giving us
On Monday
on
night.
Monday.
It gets the excitement going as well, because we're like, oh, where is it going to be?
Because they don't want people to go and scope out the terrain beforehand, because that would give you an advantage. So they keep it as secret as possible so that you don't know what obstacles are going to be in your way.
Because of the time, I want us to wrap up, and I want Sabine to talk about the support that you guys receive in terms of sponsorship, in terms of the cheering squad, and then Elena will talk about will now motivate people, tell us what should we expect from Baringo, or rather, why should we come to Baringo? And then you can just give us a...
Yeah, I think we are, sponsorship is huge, so we start that always a year ahead to make sure we are covered, because every car has to bring sponsorship to the table. And in our case, we are very fortunate that we have White Cup as our main sponsors, but we have also family, friends, and sponsors who have always been supporting us, and so they contribute greatly. In terms of, honestly, I get the most nervous in the gauntlet because there are so many people sometimes, but it's also exhilarating. I mean, it's, my heart rate goes up a bit, and you have to now perform in front of a stage, whereas the rest of the time you're a little bit more on your own in the bush. But when you come to where most of the spectators who are now planning to attend, if they want to come, it will be going to the gauntlet area, because that is where there are 3 checkpoints and you can really walk around as a spectator. So it's quite noisy there. It's a party scene.
It's nice.
Okay, why should we come?
Why should you come? Yeah. I think, honestly, if you want to see, what the Rhino Charge is, it's a great time to do that. But I would also say, like, the projects that Rhino Arc do and fund, that's more of the reason why you should come. Like, you see where yes, we're doing this car event and it's amazing and it's really cool, but you understand why we're doing it. We're raising money, and it's the impact we're creating for society and the world as well. Like, doing our little part in the environment, helping local communities. That's why people should come and watch. Is yes, seeing the cars is fun, but also being able to connect and stop looking at our phones, for example.
Okay. To any young lady back at home, young girl at home, any woman who's watching the show, and talk to them, talk to her.
Well, you can do anything. And I think it doesn't matter whether you are a man or a woman, or if you're young or old, from whatever background you're from. I think what we've learned is that if you're determined and with the support of others, you really can try anything. And we love doing this. It's a motorsport where you don't usually expect to see women do it, but we do it really well. And we really want to encourage as many other women and girls to join in, and we love it when we hear that there's a new all-female team taking part, because it should be a diverse sport, and you can do anything if you put your mind to it.
You can do anything. Any Swahili word that you know? A quick one?
I call myself Kenyan and I'm embarrassed. I don't speak Swahili, unfortunately.
You don't know even one?
No, actually no.
I know, kidogo too.
A Swahili word?
Mimi najua.
Yeah,
She knows.
Waambie basi wakuja Kiswahili. Tell them to come to Baringo.
Karibu to the Rhino charge.
Yote. Karibuni wote.
Karibu. Okay, karibuni nyi wote. They are the bush babes, or rather the chicks in charge. They'll be taking part in the 2025 Rhino charge that is set to take place in Baringo County come 31st of this month. We are going to before we take a break. Anyway, we remember the show is Sports Extravaganza. My name is Duncan Mtua, and we want to make it more interactive because we're having we'll also be looking at the English Premier League. So this is the question of the day. I'm asking you, which team impressed you in the 2024-2025 English Premier League season? Which team impressed you in the 2024-2025 English Premier League? I understand Liverpool are the current champions. Arsenal finished second. Wanasema next season it's coming home, or rather next season is going to Emirates Stadium. Manchester United on the 16th, or rather they were eyeing the relegation zone. But before that, I want us to go to Kisii, where very own Kombo Alfayo has covered the Kenya badminton Premier League that is currently going on in Kisii County. Let's connect with Kombo Alfayo.
Thank you very much, Duncan Mutua. It has been a sporty Saturday here from Kisii High School, whereby badminton games are going on here in Kisii High School. As you can see from the background, the games are still on. As you can see, the National Badminton League, for the first time, is being played here in Kisii School with the different competitors from East Africa, from different parts of the country, from Mombasa, Nairobi, Nakuru, and even far parts of Busia. I will be speaking with some of the management from NBL and some of the players, some of the veterans, and some of the old boys who have been playing badminton. Maybe if you start with your name and tell us how has been badminton today, being the first time in Kisii County NBL is coming, and how are the games so far by now?
Oh, thank you. My name is Jacinta. On behalf of NBL Elite, we thought that we could bring the sport to Kisii. In the badminton history, we've never had a major tournament in Kisii, so we thought it's good to just diversify the sport in every county. That's why we brought the game to Kisii.
Maybe if badminton is a game that has always been neglected, and it is not on the limelight for the larger time, and it's only been mentioned during the national sports high school games only. And why is it that badminton is not being highlighted like the rugby games, football games, hockey, other racket games like squash, and even lawn tennis?
Okay, for badminton, we've been suspended for so many years. So that's why we came up with this initiative of starting the Nairobi Badminton League, so that we can bring the sport back to life, because it was already dead. So we are trying in as much possible. We've been suspended from the sport. At least players keep on playing and enjoying the sport that they love. So that's why we came up with this initiative by players, for players, so that we can keep the sport going.
Thank you very much. Maybe if we have the host teacher here to tell us, why did you accept to host these matches here in Kisii? Being that you see there is lack of facilities within around, but for Kisii School, this is a facility of state of art, and you are the host. The whole country is here, the whole of East Africa is here to be playing badminton. We remember that badminton is one of the neglected games.
Thank you so much. I'm Nyangoya Edward, the Deputy Principal Boarding. I'm privileged to host this event. Number one, it's passion. I am a veteran in this game. I play badminton. And as a school, to host this event has really assisted the boys to participate in this event in terms of maturity of the game. Number two, this is the first time Kisii County has hosted badminton since time immemorial. We want to appreciate because it has made the county at least to gain some skills out of this game. So we want to say that the administration under the principal Mogaka has really made this Kisii County to provide a facility that is well equipped in badminton, and as well we can talk in Western region that it has 4 courts that can host this tournament effectively, and we have seen it go an extra mile in ensuring that the matches are okay. We want to appreciate and we want to say that Kisii County, we have moved a step that we can be able to host this badminton game.
Thank you very much. You know, Duncan Mutua, it's not a sporty game without the players around. We are having Fred Nyaribo here, one of the players of badminton for the youngsters. Fred, how have the matches been today? And you as a player, how do you feel playing in Kisii grounds?
First of all, the matches are very tough, but I'm trying as best as possible to play. And the matches are very tough, and I hope today I will win something during the tournament. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have also a veteran here who's an old man playing badminton. Badminton is not only for the young Duncan Mutua. We also have the old players who have been playing badminton. And as we have heard from the management, as that badminton has been having challenges. You as a veteran, what can you say of badminton in the country?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm very happy to have this tournament happening here in Kisii. For us who are a bit old, we participate in this game for physical fitness because it is our hobby. But importantly, we are happy because of the competition that it has brought to Kisii and also the nurturing that we are doing it for the young ones, the upcoming ones. So these are sports that can be played anywhere. We encourage the young people to take it up. We want to encourage our players, including those who have been in the game for long, to keep mentoring and supporting those who are coming up. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Duncan Mutua, we cannot say this is badminton without the people, some of them who have been supporting and playing these games up to the international matches. Maybe we start with your name and tell us what are some of the challenges badminton is going through here in Kenya.
My name is Edwin Waitadu, a professional badminton player. What I can say, we have had lots of challenges as badminton. First, we were suspended by the Badminton World Federation, that is BWF, in 2021. And ever since, we've had challenges because the only way to be reinstated back was to have a free, fair, and all-inclusive elections, which we are yet to have till today. And the leaders that we are purportedly, the leaders that we have self-interest in which they don't want these things to happen, because we have had so many meetings trying to bring the badminton back to sanity, but there are always hinges that are causing the badminton not to go forward. So it's one of the challenges that we are having, but as you can see, the players themselves have taken the initiative to make sure that badminton is running, and as you can see now, we are in Kisii for the very first time, so meaning we want badminton to grow even in the grassroots level. Yes. I think
maybe if you have another player who's been playing for the country, from your end, what do you feel of badminton in Kenya?
Okay, so thank you very much. My name is Sami Sikoyo. The challenge that we have today mostly is about badminton being banned. So players are really suffering today. We cannot compete internationally, and this is really affecting even our mood and spirit in pushing more and competing. However, we are really grateful to organizers like NBL, because you can see badminton was never played in Kisii like a national tournament, but now we are here playing. So as players, we are motivated, and we hope the government and the leaders can really see that even with the ban, we are really still pushing this, because with this, we are suffering, not getting sponsors. So we are missing out a lot, because a sponsor will not come to somewhere where you are banned. So we hope they can see this and can help us come out of this challenge.
Thank you very much, Duncan Mutua. As you have just heard it from some of the veteran players, some of the professional badminton players. They're stating that their urge is that the CS of sports, that is Salim Vuria, to intervene and make sure that badminton here in Kenya is revived back, and so that you can see that these are more than 200 players of badminton from 4 corners of the world, East Africa, Central, and also here in Kenya, from several parts, different counties here, in order to make sure that they continue enjoying this badminton game away from high school games, campus games. This is something that is a plea and cry, so that the CS should intervene and make sure that badminton in Kenya is fully revived. I don't have much to say. Just pass the mantle back to you in studio, Duncan Mutua.
Alfayo Combo there from Kisii is keeping an eye on what is happening in the Badminton National League, or rather National Badminton League yenye inaendelea kule Kisii. Combo, shukran sana, kazi safi from Kisii County. Now we remember this is TV47 Sports Extravaganza. We are keeping it sport. We are discussing matters sports. We have moved. Tulikuwa kule Rabat, Morocco, where Tony Kwalanda and George Kinyanjui, they are keeping an eye on what is happening there in the Diamond, in the Wanda Diamond League. Alafu tukakuja kuongea kuhusu swimming. We have interacted with junior swimmers, talented junior swimmers. We have talked matters. We have talked about a Rhino charge, an event that is set to take place next weekend. That is 31st of this month, the last day of this month in Baringo. We are going to shift focus to talk matters football now, where we are expecting to see what Gor Mahia are doing. We'll be also checking at the National Super League, Serie A standing, because Serie A, they have new champions. Napoli, they are back, their 5th title in their franchise history. Liverpool are current champions, but the race to the Champions League when it comes to English Premier League inashika moto hapa na pale. Kwa hivyo ni among what we'll be talking about. So we're also having the question of the day. We want you to interact with us. We want you to call us. We want you to send us that WhatsApp message. We have the question of the day. The question of the day is, which team impressed you in the 2024-2025 English Premier League season? And why do you think that team impressed you? Apart from Liverpool, who are the champions, Manchester United, after reaching the Europa League final, did they impress you? Bottlers, let me just call them bottlers. That is Arsenal, after finishing 2nd. Did they impress you? At the end of the day, they say, bora sisi tumeingia Champions League, unatuambia nini? Anyway, Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, Brighton, all are looking up to qualify for the Champions League. But tutakuwa nachukua break fupi hivi, sipo peke yangu in the next hour, where we will be talking matters, football matters to do with English Premier League and everything to do with sports. Dennis Madeka is in the house. Ndio hapo umemwona